Speaking of Hello Radio.
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
Wow, they are incredibly loud tonight. They are fired up because they know it is the pre-Halloween version of the Old Tube Radio Network. The pumpkins are lit. The studios and green room is decorated. It was 70-something degrees outside, so there's activity at the pool. And rumor has it, in fact, most of the staff is setting up for a introductory live performance of the Espresso Trucking Company, who is here live tonight. They'll have a world premiere performance for your Old Tube Radio Halloween pleasure coming up at the beginning of the Tube Radios tonight. Hi, my name is Dennis, your net controller for the Old Tube Radio Network. I can't seem to get color out of the cameras. I think somehow they've been sabotaged to make it seem a little bit more spookier. But I think it's spooky enough when I show up on the video here. The Old Tube Radio Network on Channel 11, 27085, streaming at oldtuberadio.net, and there's a YouTube thing going on somewhere. But tonight, as usual, as we always do on Saturdays from 8 to 10 p.m. Pacific time, we will be featuring your glow-in-the-dark tube radios, and we are thankful that our tube radio operators are around tonight and are warming stuff up. So we will start with the direct-to-net roll call. Let me bring the list up to the top, and we are looking for SWL 00.
00, checking in.
All right, you are looking good, sounding good. Where's my pen? It rolled away. All right. With all the junk on the desk. Got the X in the square for the 30th day of October. Thanks for getting us started off. And yeah, there are gremlins. There's always gremlins in the studio, but I think we have some extra special ones tonight. We've got to check in for SWL number 1, the king of all things gremlin-y when it came to the Old Tube Radio Network and making sure that there was strange things going on. SWL number 2, checking out the maximum usable frequency today, and there was a lot of it all the way around. Contesting going on in the ham bands, 10 meters open. 11 meters right here was open to 188 to kind of work to the gray line with Alaska and Hawaii and Australia and Guam and whatever, and talked the gray line out. And right now we are ready for those tube radios. Got a proxy check. Thank you, Mr. OBP. We've got a proxy check-in for Mr. Lone Eagle SWL3, SWL4, SWL5, shortwave listener number 6, SWL7.
SWL7 checking in.
All right, interesting how quiet everything has become just in the last 15 minutes. That's gray line skip for you. Thanks for checking in. SWL10. Might be a lot of end of the month Halloween spooky style gatherings going on tonight, so I realize that people may be coming and going, leaving early, or checking in at some point. We do have the Echo Link. Link is up. 23 Skidoo has managed to... I think they farmed it out to some third party. I don't know. But it appears to be up. I haven't checked it out yet. I'm sort of afraid. We'll find out. At Echo Link Old Tube Radio Network, or 354870 on the node thing. Let's go over to SWL13. And you can always check in on the oldtuberadio.net page, or maybe live on the YouTube video stream. And I will endeavor to try and make sure that I catch everybody that is is throwing out some comments. Over to SWL 14. SWL 16, right there on my screen tonight. Charlie and Chet are helping set up. They are right in the front. ETC is going to be right up here in the front tonight, I think. They've got pumpkins and witches and all sorts of stuff going on. They have they must have gotten renewed on their contract, because they are sparing no expense tonight for their performance. Thank you 16 out there in Anoka, Minnesota. SWL 17. SWL 18. I got Mikey checked in from a prior Facebook page. And let's see, SWL 19. I haven't even worked the list. Up in the front row tonight as usual. Chet out there in Derby. And hello to Bill. We'll be getting to you. And Charles is in there. Fresno, Temecula, California, Shinston, West Virginia, looking good. Louisville, Kentucky, Woodland Park, Colorado, with the beams pointed this way, no doubt. Moncks Corner, South Carolina, Auberry, California, and hello to San Bernardino. In song from Frank Zappa. I played that. I played on the air sometime. San Bernardino song. Let's go over to SWL 20. And Harvey said that he would be around somewhere. Maybe, Harvey, are you the unknown SWL out there tonight? We are checking you in. So if you're listening, I hope you are doing it safely from wherever you are at. SWL 10, Chrissy and 30 are right there checking in. Hope all is going well in Idaho tonight. And you said you might have a recipe. If so, we got plenty of room on the chat window for said recipe if you've got it ready. If not, we will be waiting at some point. 20, Harvey, we've got you checked in. SWL 21, Mr. JT from Old Radio Night Tonight, where was the Tram Titan 2 on the radio. Let's see if we've got anything for that. I think it would be this. And what was going on tonight on Radio Night?
Take it easy, man, and good to hear you out there. There's another Maniac, 207 out there in Washington State, I believe is what he told me there. Maybe it's Oregon, I don't know, Washington, I think. And
I like that Big 12.
That way today and talked
is that a channel thing?
There sure did. Hey, Maniac, I thought it was you at first. I said, dang, he done moved out there, because I hadn't heard you in a while. All right,
some
man,
good audio.
Side, this 21 back out.
And good stuff tonight on Old Radio Night. Check them out before this net on your favorite YouTube channel, and it's all Channel 12. Tell me about JT. Tell me about that big illuminated 12 on the monitor, on the meter there. What is that all about? That looks pretty cool here on OTR. We got you checked in. The Wasama Swamps of South Carolina doing a good job. Over to SWL 22. And SWL 20, I'm going to check the Echolink link, see where it's at. I don't know. I haven't gotten the bill. I haven't paid the bill for this month. There's 1 day left. So let me run over to the link, and we'll see what happens. Let me get it fired up here from KB6GFD on the Echolink. Hello, Mitch. Over. And we'll see what's going on tonight with.
Good evening there, Dennis.
Echolink.
Hello to all the SWLs. 23 Skidoo here, checking in from the ETC tour bus, where yours truly is stuck cleaning up a mess. These guys are eating too much Halloween candy on their way over to the studio, and, well, yeah, we won't be more descriptive than that, but let's just say I'm going to be busy for a while. Have a great show, 73 KA3 TEB.
Yeah, we will be having a good show. I noticed as soon as they parked the rather ratty-looking tour bus off in the back behind the pool, they not only went out to the pool, but they've been riding around in the big limousine pretty much all day, and it seems like they've got everybody else. They recruited for their roadies to set up here in the studio, but it does look like a nice presentation coming up here to start off the Tube radios tonight. Thanks for the Echolink link. It seems to be working. Apparently the bill got paid. I'll have to check the Costco card. Thanks for checking in. KB6G update. All right, Echolink link is looking good. Let's go over to SWL 24.
24, check it in.
SWL 24, sounding good on the Old Tube Radio Network tonight. Thank you, Joseph. SWL 25. And I think he was doing something tonight, not canceled. I don't think his gig was canceled tonight. So probably out there doing a performance, just like we will have here with the ETC. I wonder if he would like ETC as an opening act for their group. Over to SWL 27.
27's checking in, live from Studio G.
Sounding good from Studio G tonight. What's going on the other frequencies? Anything exciting over?
I haven't even had that radio on today.
Yeah, it was busy. There was or is some type of a contest going on and some other things. I don't think we've got any FT8s. Oh, no, that's it. There you go, 1470 something. They're still whining on 40. So before you leave Studio G, give them a call, won't you? Thanks for checking in.
Oh, Roger.
Over to SWL 28, if I can click on the button, and I do believe I saw Gary down the road from Sacramento checking in. And let's have a really big shoe. I hope we will. I am anticipating it. I don't know what's going to happen after the Tube Radio start, but it's always fun here on the Old Tube Radio Network. Thanks for checking in, Gary. Over to SWL 29. Got a proxy for Bill. SWL 30, Mr. RFI is sitting by the Browning Eagle. We did have some gray line skips, so possibly we'll get the E-skip tonight. I don't know. But Dwayne has got the Robin and the Eagle fired up, just waiting. Over to SWL 31. And I forgot to mention JT tonight on Old Radio Night, a personal record 5-hour video gate with Skip and all sorts of things. So check that one out. Doing the tram. Was it the tram all day today? Maybe that is the DX station. Over to SWL 32. And it looks like the Robin T123B from Chrissy made it on to the live stream from Dirty Diaper 21. We'll have to check that out. SWL 33, Bozo Control honking the Proboscis. SWL 34. Jimmy's probably doing some type of a Halloween thing tonight. I'm going to give it a shot just for the video here to see if we can. All right, that's for that's for Jimmy and Little Toot. That one worked out pretty good. SWL 35. Mr. Bill checking in from Cool. I bet it is. Charlie Double Oscar Lima from Cool, Cheyenne, where the snow. What's the guy on the Disney movies used to say? The snows of winter are soon coming on. So we've got you checked in, Bill, who I think he's taken a couple of days off. He's taken a couple of days off from the Red Monkey communications van, but don't go too far away because he will be back with some good stuff. SWL 36, Jerry checked in early because he's got some stuff going on. I'm looking to see if I can grab a picture. There it is. That is the station, the Cam 88, what does Dennis say? The wheels of the bus go round and round. Looks like a big school bus. There's the Cobra Cam 88 that's on his current workbench. And Jerry does it right. He makes sure he has the Sam's CB photo fax ready to go right on the page when he's got the rig opened up. Look at that. Looking pretty good. And I think he's got underneath looks good, point-to-point wiring. And, all right, I must have missed it. I thought he had the Collins mechanical filter in the shot there somewhere. But oh, no, that doesn't. The Cobra doesn't have the Collins. It's the Courier Royale he's working on as well. Anyway, Jerry, looking good. It's looking good. And hopefully we will hear some of those radios on the air sometime. Over to SWL 37.
SWL 37 here in Dennis. Which radio are you on tonight?
I am on the good old standard radio that I have been keying up for a long, long time.
Okay, I just wondered if it was going to be the other one.
Well, not yet. I don't know. I don't know about that one, if it'll make it into this realm. But we will see. Anyway, never pass up a thing that you know that works. So that's why we're doing tonight.
Okay. Well, sounds good either way. All right, Dennis. Thank you. I'm out. Be listening.
All right. Very good. It'll be a spooky evening, no doubt, with radios checking in. We are looking for SWL 38. SWL 39. And 39, Dr. Dan checking in, beaconing over the camphor trees to make it into my very low and very weak Starduster antenna. I hope all is going well out your way, and thanks for remembering this is the Saturday night place to be. All right, Dr. Dan is in over to SWL 40. I think I saw 785 on Facebook. And who was in there tonight? Hello, hey, Popcorn 913. They're serving popcorn up here in the front for the band tonight. In fact, I think they've got it on the floor. You know, where they do that sawdust thing. I think they didn't have any sawdust, so they put the popcorn down there. Hello, Dwayne. Dwayne V. saying, how do you get an SWL number? Well, if I had any, I think we are in week 6. And we have an 8-week roster. If people don't check in, we can reissue some of the numbers. But as many people know, you do not have to have an SWL number to be part of OTR. This is not a club. It's we don't have dues, no funny handshake, just a voluntary association of people interested in the old tube radios. In fact, you don't even have to have an old tube radio to play along. But I will check. In a couple of weeks, we might have something open on the page to get you checked in. But I have got you checked in. Looking good. We are here in Central California. 27085 is the frequency. Typically, the evening skip runs north and south on the east skip, so if you're on the west coast somewhere, you might hear us coming in. Out there in Foreland, well, I should turn on, I was here in Texas on 75 meters earlier, so maybe I should turn on 75 and see what's going on there. Welcome to the Old Tube Radio Network, and hopefully you get on the air with tubes, transistors, or whatever you have. Let's go over to SWL 41. Hey, and there is 785. I knew you were out there. 41, Road Dog 507, out of New York, where it's late. It's later than you think. And Phil is in there tonight. Hello, Phil. We got a Phil on our FM radio station doing a 5-hour show tonight. I think he was playing like 1940s and 50s stuff, the old 78 record. You know, Richard, 75 is super long tonight. I doubt I would hear you unless the band changed. I was hearing the guys from Texas, and I was trying to hear John out in Santa Maria, and I just barely heard him key up with the carrier. So I don't know. I don't have a free. I'll let you know when I kick on the frequency over there. SWL 42, SWL 43. Got a proxy in for Crazy Eddie. SWL 44. I'll get Ray proxied in. He can't hear this peanut whistle on AM, but we can hear him. He sounds good on the Ditch Banks net. Over to SWL 45.
45. Boys have messed this afternoon. Hawaii was so loud. Nice and quiet now. 45, check it in.
Yeah, we had big conditions all day, and then we got a gray line boost right after 7 o'clock, and we had a good path into Fresno. Bobby was, what do they say, working the room. But then again, he's got the things to work the room. Paul, you are sounding good. Hope you and Kelly are doing well.
Thanks. You're doing a good job also.
Directed net roll call. We've got the tube radios coming up tonight. A premier live world performance from Espresso Trucking Company, and it looks like it's going to be Halloween themed. At least the stage is. Who knows? Who knows? They may never come back out of the limousine. I hope that I told the driver, make sure you get them back before 9 o'clock. Over to SWL 46. Shortwave listener 47. Probably a lot of people out at the barbecue tonight. SWL 48. Getting Sammy checked in from Facebook. 48 is in. SWL 49. And Smitty and Sweet Country Mama, if you're listening, getting you proxed in. You sounded great last night on Ditchbank's sideband at over to SWL 50.
Well, that was interesting. Anyway, 50 checking in.
Yeah, that was the premier double key for your AM pleasure. Sounded good. Thanks for checking in. Over to near Sangertown, 305. Dave's got a high noise level tonight. He's in on YouTube saying hello radio. But if he was out there without the high noise level, you would hear the mellifluous audio on the 305 base station. Over to SWL 52. SWL 53.
Good evening there, Dennis. Be Bel Air the legend. Saying that, Bel Air left the building. Check.
He left the building in search of Elvis. He left the building in search of Elvis, who we haven't found either. But at least Mr. Bel Air is there. Thanks for checking in.
Yeah, have a good night there. Thank you.
All right, trying to find out what screen I should be on. Anyway, we should be on page 3. Checking in the SWLs here, Tube Radios coming up. Over to SWL 54, Mr. Boardjammer with the Cosmic Check-In. Up the hill to SWL 55. SWL 56. Checked in as 00, and he might still be around.
56 is still around.
Still around. You know, a lot of us, despite our best efforts, are still around. And I still haven't read the manual yet to get that text that is sitting somewhere on my radios or whatever. There's there's so many radios and not enough time. Let's see. So thank you, Phil. Going up next to 57, Brown Dog Audio, and he is right there in the front row here, peeking over the monitors, checking in. Spooky in the holler this evening. Coyotes are howling, owls are hooting, and old tube radios are warming the bones. Happy Halloween from everyone from Mr. Brown Dog Audio, Central Kentucky, Worldwide Sidebanders, 1942. And having a good time. Yeah, I would be playing spooky, scary sound effects if I could make them myself. I made the mistake of putting on a sound effects record years ago, and that whole entire portion of the old Tube Radio network got flagged for copyright violation. Oh, man, if somebody's got the copyright on, woo! Somebody's got that copyright, so you got to be careful. Let's go over to SWL 58. Jerry, who was in a couple of hours earlier, because it's a couple hours later where he's at in Tennessee, setting up the big super power station. I think he's going to have that raw-make antenna pointed right here to the Central Valley. Jeremy, we've got you checked in. Maybe catch you on the big radio bands coming up. SWL 59. Am I hearing Skip coming in? SWL 60.
Evening time to you, Dennis. Little update there before we get the check-in going here. Fresno State is leading San Diego by 14-0. SWL 60 checking in Jake's base, the Galaxy DX 2527.
All right, looking good. 14-0 is a good score when the Bulldogs are ahead. Do you know where you are? What part of the game we're in?
Right now, they're in the second inning, second quarter.
Okay, that's. I'm in the second inning, so we'll see what happens. I'm not sure if they're playing local tonight or not. Sometimes I've got the windows open tonight. Maybe if they do the fireworks thing, we'll hear some fireworks going on off the stadium, but they might not be around. Anyway, thanks for your check-in.
Thank you, Dennis. And Braves are leading the Astros in the World Series. Doggone it, a couple of more innings and it'll be over. Braves may take this one too.
Wow, is the World Series on? I guess that's right. October. I don't know. World Series. When you're working in a television station, baseball is the worst sport you can get into because it never ends on time. The breaks never come in on time, and it just messes things up. I learned to hate baseball just because of that. I mean, not hate baseball, but just hate having to carry it on the air. Unlike the old Tube Radio Network, where if we go over time here, and we often do, it is a good thing because we are checking in radios. Thanks, Joe. Sounding good. Over to SWL 61. SWL 62. And that is, where is it? King Duckford, who is live and on time right here on the old Tube Radio Network tonight. Said he made New Zealand on 10-meter SSB from North Dakota. And we heard New Zealand earlier. No, we heard Australia earlier right here. So I will listen in. It seems like early in the morning is a good time. I was hearing Italy. You know, it was like India Bravo 4 something on the contest on 40 meters, just as the band opens up here on the West Coast. So it was really good conditions. I don't know where the sunspot numbers are. You know, in fact, I think I can do that without blowing something up. Where are we? Do we have 3-digit SFI? A of 10, K of 4, and oh yeah, solar fluxes is 111, and sunspots are 76. You get that solar flux up into 3 digits. Good things are happening. Thank you there, King Duckford, out there in North Dakota, sounding and looking good on the old Tube Radio Network tonight. Oh, and the worldwide SSB QSO party, thanks. You know, I knew it was something big. There were just a lot of contesters and a lot of big power. So when it's a worldwide thing, you've got all sorts of people on there. So 62 is in. Over to SWL 63. SWL 64.
You got a break in there, Dennis.
Okay, I didn't know if that was Skip or anything. Here, this is the old Tube Radio Network, the breaking station. Go ahead, over. All right, thanks for the heads up, and I hear you just fine. It's the net controller talking too much and quick keying. Sounding good, Dean. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you, sir.
I'm just trying to get the roll call going here so we can get the tube radios checked in. And I'm holding ETC to their 9 o'clock studio time here. I have not seen the limo pull up. So where's Charlie and Chet and Bill? If ETC does not show up, you guys are going on stage. So figure out who wants to be bass, who wants to be lead, and who wants to do the drums, because we are going to have entertainment regardless. This could be fun. Over to SWL 65. SWL 66. Short River Listener 67. Bill is saying no. No, we are not going up on stage. I was sort of kidding. Kind of kidding. Over to SWL 68. Kenny, SWL 69, he stopped by this week on Old Tube Radio Network on the video side and said hello to everybody. So, Kenny, we're saying hello right back to you if you're watching at some point. We miss you out here, but you got you checked in. And I'm just asking, am I going to be able to, what is this? Something stuck in my hand here. Am I going to be able to get my chroma back tonight? He's shaking his head no. All right, well, sorry. At least we've got chroma on the other stuff here. Let's go to SWL 70.
Is this a quick key frequency? If so, I'm in.
Yeah, this is your quick key frequency. Say that 3 or 4 times. You are sounding good. The Morgan Canyon Magician keying up tonight. Thanks, Mart.
Thanks, Dennis.
SWL 71. Let me go over to this window, which I have not looked at in a long time. Stan is checking in from Dallas, Georgia, and he's working the CQ Worldwide DX contest. 10 and 15 meters has been great. Yeah, it was. Like I said, I can't remember what I heard Italy, but it was, I'm sure it was, whoa. On 15 meters. Let's see if 20 is open. Hold on. Just take a time out here. Is it still open? When you got guys running. Yeah. They're trying. Somebody right on my birdie here, but the band is still open. All I got is noise. You can tell I'm not a contester. I can't hear a doggone thing. All right, Stan. Good luck in the contest, and yeah, it's nice when the band is all bands are open, especially 10. I heard guys up above 28, 20 at 5 today on the contest. Over to SWL 72. Hello to Wayne out there in Glen Allen, watching the series, watching a few home runs, and we will hit a few home runs tonight on the Old Tube Radio Network, I bet. Over to SWL 73. Getting John proxied, and he is probably working the contest as well. SWL 74. SWL 75. SWL 77.
Hey, proxy in Dennis.
I will do that. I know he's on one of those real heavy-duty long schedules like I used to be on long ago, so he's somewhere somehow. So he's checked in. Thanks. And Richard Wild Wildemar, if my antennas were working and the bands were open, we would probably be hearing him. We could probably get a live check-in on one of the low bands here. DX into Japan on 10 meters early this evening. Okay, you never hear Japan coming in on the skip, but when Hawaii is in and Australia is in like it was in New Zealand, obviously Japan is going to be in there as well. Richard also made several contacts on SSB. 10 is faded for now. 80 watts into a 5/8 vertical. And this is the beginning of cycle 25. Maybe it's going to be good a little bit. Got you. You checked in, Richard, and we'll see if the bands behave. They're on 75. I think the band is just super long. We'll see if we can get a zero beta carrier from you or something. Anyway, sounding good. You're checked in. And hello to Captain Robert. Hello, radio. Good to see you on the Old Tube Radio Network tonight. Take it easy. Do what the doctor says, and we're glad to have you aboard. Over to SWL 79. SWL 80. And I was trying to get the orchestra fired up. We've got to find out what is going on the Bob and Steve show tonight. They've got everything going here.
27.085 OTR Channel 11.
Show number 87. Can you believe it's been that many on the 30th of October, 2021? Bob and Steve, Trick or Treat. I saw them. They're wearing their little Trick or Treat hats. I couldn't remember if Bob is Trick and Steve is Treat, or it was the other way around. The pool and 33 tables. Do you know how hard it is to clean up 33 tables after everybody goes away? They're decorated for Halloween. We've got the little orange crepe paper. We were hoping it didn't rain so we would have an orange trail of liquid going into the pool, but the weather was great today. Everything is decorated up. Pumpkins on every table, jack-o'-lanterns, and the jingle singers are in costumes. Everybody's in costume here except me, and then they turned off the chrome on the camera so I would look spooky. That's what happens when you don't wear a costume. They do that to you. It says 33 young people showed up wearing... I saw that. I was wondering what was happening, and I thought, well, maybe I left the garbage cans out or something, and it was the city coming to help me out. But no, they were wearing these OTR shirts, these outfits that said 33, and it might have been my name on there, but that was very touching, as a matter of fact. But I told them maybe if you turn them inside out, you'll maybe you can sell them for a nice price over at the Five and Dime. The shirts are nice. Tie jacket and a perfect Dennis mask. So if you want to be spooky, you can dress up like me. Walmart had them on a closeout, and I did see that there weren't many left when I went there. I was trying to hide them over in the automotive department. That was kind of embarrassing. At the pool tonight from Highland, Indiana, the Green Witch Cafe, perfect for a pre-Halloween Old Tube Radio Network, fine gourmet steaks, and wood-fired pizza. I was smelling that. I went in early, and I told them, I'm the net control operator. Can you give me an early plate? And they said, they pointed over there and said, the line starts. The line starts around the corner. So I have my pizza and steak coming up after the net. There are many riding brooms out at the pool, and Fresno State is on the big screens tonight, and it looks, at least for a few moments ago, they were doing well. We'll see how that pans out in a little bit. And as always, as they say, do not forget to feed the fish.
27.085 OTR Channel 11.
Page 4 is where we are at, SWL 81. Steve Areno, Mr. Unicorn, checked in early, because I think he's got places to be and stuff to do. So, Steve, we've got you checked in. If you're watching the playback, all is well. Let me get you checked in. There we go. Over to SWL 82. I will get Ron checked in. I think he said he was going to be doing something. He was out and about on the Ditchbanks sideband at net last night. That's on Friday nights, 36 lower, 27.365, starting at 8 p.m. Pacific time on sideband, no doubt. So bring your modified tube radio sidebands, or any radio will do. He will take any and all check-ins. And if you've never been there before and the skip is running, give Ron a call. They'll get you checked in on the Ditchbanks sideband net. Over to SWL 83. SWL 84, Mr. Cheerios Kid, putting the X in the square. Let me see. I've got all this stuff sitting in my lap. Let me see if I can ceremoniously light the illumination of the E.F. Johnson Messenger 223, adding another little bit of tube warmth to the control room here tonight. Over to SWL 85, John in Reedley. And we will get the triple play SWL 86, 87, and 88 Mountain Made Tandy Girl and Snowy Owl checked in. SWL 89. SWL 90. Then in that other time zone, way the heck out there, SWL 91, Mr. Felix. And there is the green check. I can't officially check Felix in until I see the green check mark. And so I will put the X in the square. Looking good. He's saying hello to all the shortwave listeners and old tube radio operators. And we will have the old tube radio operators here in moments. Felix is in. Let's try SWL 92. Somebody was checking. Who was that check-in? How about SWL 93? SWL 95. And checking in from Orlando, Florida. Did I hear Florida today? I'm not sure. I think it was all the big guns. Florida's got some big stations out there doing the contest thing. So from out there in Foreland, we've got you checked in 95. Thanks for listening to the Old Tube Radio Network tonight. Over to SWL 96.
Guys, have a great weekend, and Dennis, you're sounding #1 out here.
Yeah, sounding good from Kermantown, and it's good to be heard, right? And the skip has went away, so making it clear sailing all the way around. Thanks. 96, Mr. Prune Picker. Long time old Tube Radio Network guy. And Robert, you know, I think I've got an old list or something, because I knew that. I'm going to recalibrate my list to indicate that. Thanks for the reminder. I guess he is still there in spirit. Maybe we'll put him in the virtual check-in modes. He's been on the list a long time. 85. 96 is in. Let's go over to SWL 97, Boston 97. Oh, and there is a recipe going on, and it was something about chili. So if you like chili, introductions to a recipe, okay. Tomato sauce. It's good. All right, it's going along. We'll have to put it all together. Ingredients. Oh, it's still going. I was missing that. Chili casserole. All right, that is what's going on tonight. So if you check out the chat window now or later, because it'll be archived on YouTube, there will be a chili casserole for your dining and dancing pleasure. Just looking for Boston 97. Also, SWL 98, Tracy, who is checking in from home. It's good to be home. Good to have you home. And we've got you checked in. Have to try when things get going, see if we can hear you on the radio. But we've got you checked in 98. SWL 99. And Tony, SWL 100, checked in earlier. I almost caught him, or did I? No, he was on Echo Lincoln, and I just missed him. But he checked in early on Facebook. He's out of McClellanville, South Carolina. The Old Tube Radio Network, Real Radio's Glowing in the Dark, will be coming up shortly after the roll call. Tony is in. Over to 103, Jeff. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, hold on. I see what's going on. Let me try something here. All right, let me try that. I think the conference mode, because your call didn't show up, Tony, so take another transmission from South Carolina, KB6GFD.
Hey, Dennis.
Please check in SWL100. Dennis, good evening.
All right, good evening. Yeah, it fooled me. You're on the conference. So actually the call is showing up now, so that's good. I passed you by, but I didn't need to do that. Sounding good, and like they say, good luck in the contest, in the heavy metal contest between the Old Tube Radio Network and Ozzy Osbourne, or whoever's out there in the land of Oz. 73. And who was the station that said, "Hey, Dennis, I am listening now, over."
Hey, Dennis, 131. I don't know if you got to me yet, but I'm not going to be here probably if you haven't, so you can check me in there if you would.
I will check you in, Mr. Rude, being very polite to get a check-in. All right, you're looking good. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you. Now, I got company, so I have to be kind of somewhat polite. You know, and you got fig pickers sitting over here looking at you funny and stuff.
That's right. We get a lot of people in trouble on Saturday evenings between their wives and husbands and people they're supposed to be visiting and things they're supposed to be doing when they sneak into the Radio Shack to check in. Thanks.
Yeah, here. You want to say something?
Hello from the Old Tube Radio Network.
Hey, Dennis, you got a copy?
I have a copy, over.
275 with a high 5, old fig picker talking at you.
All right, 275 Fig Picker, worldwide everywhere on the Old Tube Radio Network tonight. Thanks for stopping by. Guess we are worldwide at oldtuberadio.net, beaconing on your Universal Media Net web. Over to SWL 109. SWL 110. And SWL 111, Robert is out there listening from Reedley. It sounds like things are progressing nicely, if that's a proper term for all those things are progressing. But it looks like you're kind of where you need to be on the surgery coming up, and we are sending the good thoughts your way. Thanks for stopping by with us tonight, and we will look forward to updates. Hey, there he is on. Let me bring up the 2-meter. I had it turned down because it was causing interference. KB6GFD, you're booming in tonight.
Yeah, I'm kicking. I just want to say hi to you, bud. Take care. KM6 BNY, clear.
Sounding good, AM, FM, sideband, and all over the place. We will catch you next time. Thanks for checking in, KB6GFD. All right, Bob live and direct on the crossband radio. And if he's in Reedley, he's putting in a good signal, almost full quieting on my very low antenna. So Grunt is in 111. Over to SWL 113. SWL 114.
114, checking in.
114. Rickshaw. Hello, Wayne. You are, as always, sounding good in the Old Tube Radio Network. Thanks for stopping by.
10-4, thank you for the check-in.
And I will refresh my comments. Next station is SWL 128. That's John in Fairfax, Virginia. For some reason, my screen is going slow tonight. Don't see John. I think he might have asked me to check him in last week, so I will get him in this week. He often joins in the contests, and there is a big one going on. Hello to Albert and the gang. They're waving a hand. They're saying hello to all the OTR and Old Tube Radio operators and shortwave listeners. And the skip has been wild here in Squamish. Yeah, it's been good all over. We're up into the 3-digit solar flux, and the A and K index, or, well, they were behaving. I think they're a little bit wacky now, but you never know. Maybe we'll hear some activity up your way. Thanks for checking in. Let's see, 128. Let's head over to 131. Mr. Rude is in. SWL 133, Dave.
Good evening, Dennis. Please check in 133.
133. Sounding good, Dave. You must be in contest mode. Putting in a good signal over my noise level tonight. So he's got the big wire and he's got his full 5-watt DC input cranked, beaconing into Midtown tonight. Thanks for checking in, Dave. Over to SWL 135.
Hello there, Dennis. This is SWL 135 checking. Is this thing working okay?
It is beaconing. It is beaconing perfectly.
Okay. See you later.
All right. And we will be glowing in the dark shortly. Mr. Green Arrow in, and I believe that is a what do we call it? A teaser, if you will, for the radio that he will be checking in shortly. Can you name? I can name that radio in 2 key-ups, I think. Maybe 3 key-ups. Let's head over to SWL 137. SWL. Oh, and you know what? I think Mr. Tony. Let me see how this is working here. I believe Tony's on the Echo link tonight, so we'll give Tony a call. AJ6PD from KB6GFD. See if Tony is joining us tonight via Echo link.
Well, good evening, Dennis. I hope I'm watching the right episode this week. Pretty embarrassing last week. Should be able to.
Yeah, you got the right one. And that, that's how you can tell you have the right episode of the Old Tube Radio Network, is you actually hear your playback right after you say it. So, not reruns tonight, live and direct, looking good, sounding good on the Old Tube Radio Network, and we have you checked in from the big town of Coarsegold, I think, unless you're still. You might still be checking in remotely. It's hard to tell, but you sound great. Thanks for joining us tonight. KB6GFD.
Yeah, we're still remote from Monterey on Echo Link, but I should be live and direct next Saturday. Going home Monday. Roger, back to you.
All right, sounds good. We'll enjoy having you back, not only here on the Old Tube Radio Network, but Tony also does a Friday morning net on 2 meters, and he'll be back for that. All right, thanks for checking in. KB6GFD. Next is Neil, SWL 147, and as always, Neil gets in early, and I always try to mark his comments, and I always fail to mark them properly so that I can actually see them. Here we go. SWL 147 in Kakalaki checking in. He said, good skip this afternoon from Colorado, Montana, Washington, and a little from SoCal. Neil's in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I don't think there is a station that has checked in tonight that has said that the skip has been bad. So it was a good day all over for your dining, dancing, and DXing pleasure. And remember that DX, that speaking more than 150 miles is now legal. Yes, it is now a legal thing to do on your 11-meter radio. What's not legal is to have a little bit more than 5 watts DC input when you're doing it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Thanks, Neil. Looking good, and maybe we will catch you on that aforementioned skip. Speaking of aforementioned skip, the guy that pretty much put this Central California on the map from about 7:15 to 7:45, Mr. Snow Beast, 188.
I don't think so, Dennis, but anyways, 188 Snow Beast, checking in.
Yeah, if you were working the room was from, Alaska to Australia to Hawaii, and did you get a Guam station in there as well?
Yes, sir. I got 21G, 21 Guam.
All right, and that's the nature of the beast, pun intended, when the band is long. We had Motormouth Mall was in earlier. He was pointing the beam towards Fresno, and the band just isn't short like that. No matter how big your horizontal beam is, sometimes you do have to have the conditions, or maybe we just make our own. 188, you are sounding good.
10-4, thank you guys. Have a great weekend.
The old Tube Radio Network monitoring here. Let's see. Bottom of page 4, as we like to say, the patient people. Jim probably sets his alarm clock to go off around this time and says, okay, Dennis has finally made it. Hello, Radio 195. All right, you're there. The audio is a bit weak. I hear the crackly crunch of the microphonium, and you are beaconing down the hill here into Central California once again. Over. Okay, no, you were in there that time. Course Gold Starliner, and if we don't have fog, we've been having a little bit of fog because it rains so much. We get that ground fog, but I think you can see the stars tonight. Speaking of the stars, one of the stars of SWLing is this guy, Shockwave, who will take his radio rig up to the atmospheric altitude and listen in for just about anybody and everything to help out to those net controllers. Hello, 226.
Hello, radio. Good evening, Dennis, everybody on the net. And I have an item of interest if we have time.
Yeah, we've got time. This is the item of interest frequency. Go ahead, over.
Okay, I don't know if anybody remembers the Communications Power Incorporated radios, the CPI radios, but CBRadioMagazine.com on his YouTube channel, he has about an hour-long video. He interviewed one of the gentlemen that helped design the CPI radios. If you guys want to check it out, it's very interesting. Some information in there about the Palomar radio that they built for them, the CPI rigs, and maybe even a few little tidbits about amplifiers that were built down in Southern California back in those days. And I just wanted to share that with everybody on the net. Other than that, no traffic. Dennis, back to you.
Wow, great information. And make sure I got it right. That's CBRadioMagazine.com?
Yeah, it might just be CB Radio Mag, but I think it's either that or CB Radio Magazine. But as you start to type it into the search bar on YouTube there, I think it'll pop up.
Yeah, that's a great site. Does a great job with reviews of radios and, like Jeff just mentioned, interviews and the history of what's going on. A lot of sites do that over at CB Radio Magazine, CB Radio Mag. So thanks for the info. It'll be a lot better. It'll be a lot better than watching another Gilligan's Island rerun, and I might actually learn something. I have never owned a CPI radio, but that was a CPI and Stoner and some of the really rare but very well made and hard to find radios back in the semi heyday, trying to keep things alive. If we get one around, we'll check it in. Thanks, Jeff. Looking and sounding good tonight.
73, Dennis. Everyone have a great weekend.
The old Tube Radio Network. Let me see who else is out before we go away. I'm keeping my eye to see if there's that limousine going to be rolling in for ETC. The stage is, the lights are up and pumpkins are lit, but the stage is still empty here, right in front of me on the old Tube Radio Network. Because I kind of promised myself we couldn't get the Tube Radio started until they played us into it. I wanted to say hello to Germantown, Wisconsin, who's joining us. Also, Levon is in. Checking in with us here on the old Tube Radio Network, Rainmaker in from the Hudson Valley of New York. Also, Mr. Superloop, Greg is in S9 Radio, saying hello. Well, Greg John, Motormouth Mall pointed the beam his way, and he's about probably 120 miles away, couldn't make it over the hill. So likewise, I don't think we have the sporadic E-Cloud, or I know that Greg would be pointing things up this way to say hello radio to the Old Tube Radio Network, but we are glad you are stopping by. Crash at 350 saying hello from Western Pennsylvania. And he's got the pledge rag out, right? He's got the dust rag out, and he's got the Mark III ready to go, waiting for some conditions. And Greg's saying the CPI 200, what a wonderful rig. So we'll check that out over at cbradiomagazine.com. Any other stations before we head over to the Tube Radios? This is the Dennis, over.
I just wanted to make sure you heard me tonight, and I wanted to tell you, you sounded excellent out here on the ditch bank tonight.
Okay, well, the Dish Banks has that great receiver, that great antenna that hear all stations from everywhere, so it doesn't matter if you are 10.9, the Ditch Banks will make you 10.8, over.
That's for sure. Anyway, I always had to check in my mobile, but tonight I was able to set my check and check in, and that's a big deal.
All right, and you're doing a good job. My noise level is never perfect around here. My antenna is very low, and you are beaconing into Midtown without a problem.
Okay, thank you very much.
And Jimmy is in. I would make you do the replay, Jim, because I had a perfect toot out of my little toot here. Let me see if I can do it again. 34 is online, the Old Tube Radio Network. All right, that was almost as good as the other one. The Old Tube Radio Network. We will be standing by. I see the lights just in time. I see the lights heading down the gravel drive here. Back in a moment with your Old Tube Radio Network, doing what it does best with the Old Tube Radios. And hopefully our premier live version of whatever Espresso Trucking Company is going to do. It looks like it's going to be great. Back in a moment on OTR. You are listening to the Old Tube Radio Network. Time now for the Tube Radios, but first, this important announcement live from the stage, Espresso Trucking Company.
working some DX late one night when my eyes beheld with eerie sight, for my SWR began to rise, and suddenly before my eyes there was a monster crash. A monster crash. Things went up in a flash. There was a crash. It blew out the sash. The shack is trash. Gonna cost lots of cash. From the lavatory in the bedroom east to the family room where the teenagers feast. The family were jolted from their humble abodes by static discharge from my tube electrodes. It was a monster crash. A monster crash. They ran a 50-yard dash. It was a crash. Well, I broke out in a rash. Shack is trash. Gonna cost lots of cash. The relays were sparking tons. The magic smoke had just begun. I fumbled for the kill switch and turned around to run. The shack was rocking, it was making strange sounds. My tower started twisting, then dropped to the ground. The fire department was about to arrive, with sirens wailing as they entered the drive. They heard a monster crash. A monster crash. They backed off in a flash. It was a crash. Scrambled out in a dash. Shack is trash. Gonna cost wads of cash. Out from the wreckage, my cell phone did ring. My neighbor, he was troubled by just one thing. He heard all the noise, raised his voice and said, "Keep it down, you fiend, I'm trying to go to bed." He heard a monster crash. A monster crash. I said, "I'll show you my lash." He hung up in a rash. Shack is trash. Gonna cost wads of cash. Everything's cool. I'm back upon the band. My monster crash is legend all across the land. For SWLs are listening, this tale is meant to. Forget to ground your gear and it'll cost you. You hear a monster crash. A monster crash. Things blow up in a flash. It'll be a crash. You'll run off in a dash. Your shack is trash. Gonna cost lots of cash. Easy, Bozo, you impetuous old man.
The shack is trash, no matter what, here on the Old Tube Radio Network. It's Halloween, or it will be soon, and we will be checking your radios. OTR standing by. No matter what, here on the Old Tube Radio Network. It's Halloween, or it will be soon, and we will be checking
560.
All right, I've got 135, 60, and was there another one?
45. Dennis.
This is Dennis, over.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, over.
Just checking there because I was playing with something over here, and I guess it works.
It works quite well. If it's something that we need to talk about, we will. But first, let's see. What's my order of appearance? It works quite well. And they've got the studio monitors on. Let me see where my studio monitor audio is coming from here. No, not that one. It might be. Oh, you know what? It might be that one. Hold on a second. All right, that's better. Radio number 3, Paul. You know what I'm going to do? Actually, where did I put my pen? Okay, radio number 3 will be Paul. We'll be right with you. Radio number 2 will be Joe, and we will start off here with radio number 1 on the list. Now, it might not be your radio number 1, but it'll be the first one on our list. Hello, Cliff, over.
Hello, over.
All right, step up into the air chair. Don't trip over the pumpkin, and take a transmission.
Okay, just checking all the wiggly meters. Looks like I'm just about smack bang on frequency. who knows what lurks in the hearts of SWR meters. The RF do, or something like that. Anyway, all right. From Chicago, Illinois, Bill Halligan and the Hallicrafters. This is the Hallicrafters CB1, Charlie Bravo number 1, old tube type CD radio, 1 channel and 1 channel only. Back to you.
All right, I have found a picture of that spooky radio, and maybe it was conjured up when we have, you know, some spooky music. When the trash, the shack is trash. Bring out the magic eye. Okay, I have found it. It looks very interesting, and like everybody says, I can't believe that's a CB radio. Back to you.
Yeah, and with the original Shure Brothers microphone, it says Hallicrafters on the front. If you've got the picture of my radio there, you'll see a little dinky microphone up there. That is the one I am using. But is made by Shure Brothers. If you look on the back, I think it's the CA95E or something like that. I have to turn it around and look, and I can't do that and talk at the same time. I mean, 11 tubes in this thing. Only one lousy channel, 1 crystal for transmit, 1 crystal for receive. Much like the one I checked in last week, but this has the 6E5 Magic Eye. It's one of those 11 tubes, and it is doing its thing. It's doing its Pac-Man thing, very much like a 6U5, but this is the 6 Echo 5. And as far as I can tell, everything is working. I'm on frequency and everything. Back to you.
Yeah, and everything. You are very on frequency. Hallicrafters, their CB1. Hallicrafters got into the Class D 11-meter style early. Sort of a similar knobs that they had on the HT. I've got an HT37 or the HT or the SX111 receiver, and I think there was a keyer, like an HA1 or something. This cabinet is directly off of something from their amateur radio line, whether it was a speaker or a keyer or something. So I think they ran into that factory and ran around the corner and said, okay, brought it to the engineers and said, can you all throw something together here to get us in on the Class D? And this was it. The microphone is totally cool, and that is the microphone you are using, the white cream-colored thing that says Hallicrafters.
Yes, it is. That's the very one I'm talking on right now, as pictured. And it's got to be the original, not just because it came with this radio, but if you look at Sam's one, it's pictured with exactly this kind of microphone. And so I'm guessing this is the actual original microphone. It's wired to an RCA plug, which plugs into the back. Again, not your usual setup. As you mentioned, it's just one knob and one knob only. That's your on-off volume. There is a squelch control, but it's in the back. You have to adjust that with a little screwdriver. And the built-in speaker. This was built into a speaker box, made for a much bigger speaker. I think it's like the R47s or something like that, or R45s or R47 type Hallicrafter speaker boxes. And the one in here, though, is a 4x6-inch speaker, which incidentally everybody sounds just great on. The receive is really, really good, even if the transmit audio is a little on the ratty side. The receive sounds great. It's got a nice big speaker, and you can really hear the full fidelity of everybody out there. Back to you.
Yeah, I think what's happening with your audio is if that's a crystal microphone or whatever it is, the element in there is still good. It's still got plenty of power, still have audio, but it's just got super high frequencies that I think are just pushing the passband of that radio a little bit more, so it gets a bit scratchy. But it's not bad at all. I mean, for what it is, and it makes me think that Hallicrafters back in 1958 or 59 said, you know what, we'll try this, but we don't think it's going to catch on. So let's grab some pieces and parts and put something together. And little did they know, I mean, Hallicrafters would be putting in CB3s and 7s and 11s and 5s and on and on. But at least for this first one, they were sort of like, well, let's put something out there, and if it sells, okay. But they did good. A very rare radio, the Magic High coolness. So yeah, without that, it would only be 10 tubes, right?
That is correct. I'm sure if for anybody who can see the picture, there's that like space bar. I need both hands to operate this thing. I'm holding that little mic in my left hand and depressing the bar with my right. And this is almost more like Harvey's intercom, isn't it? I mean, it's a one-channel radio, transmit and receive, and you depress the space bar more like a dictaphone or something like that. I'm not sure what they were thinking, but they did go on to make a whole lot of other very interesting radios.
Well, it's still, it's 5 watts. It's got audio. I don't know what kind of microphone you could put on there if you wanted to, but I'm glad you kept it stock. I'm glad you kept it the way it should be. And considering it's from 1959, that's sort of like you open the garage and there is the 59 Continental with 39,000 miles on it and the giant white walls, and I say, yeah, let's take it for a spin. From Hallicrafters, the appropriately named the CB1, starting it off for them. And thanks for bringing it by. You may have said it's push to talk. I don't see anywhere where it says lock to talk. So obviously, when you're transmitting, like you said, you are busy and you got your hands full. Back to you for another transmission before we go. Love it.
Oh yeah, it's spring-loaded, and it's actually a good, powerful spring. So I got to really hold it down. I don't know how rare these things are, but I know that they're not real abundant either. And so that's why I wanted to keep it, stocked with the original microphone. I think there's a couple other people out here who have these, and some people have hooked up better stuff to it, and it does make them sound better. But you know me, I like to keep things bone stock for the scariness. Okay, thanks for letting me check it in. It's been a lot of fun here on Halloween Eve, watching the Magic High do its thing. We'll catch you next time. See ya.
All right, see ya. That's what I needed during the song, during the Monster Crash. I needed a true Magic Eye in my audio. I'll have to find, maybe there's some audio rack gear that I can put up here that's got a Magic Eye. That would be perfect for when I'm transmitting. Radio 1, Mr. Green Arrow on the Hallicrafters CB1A from 1959. Good stuff. Who's jumping in the air chair? Let's see. Number 3 is 45. Number 2, Joe. Head on up. And while you are getting into the air chair, I forgot to do something. I dropped it. It still looks okay. I was conducting the crew here. Our tonight's pocket protector from Brill's TV service, 1110 and a half North 14th Street in where's King Duckford? From Bismarck, North Dakota, 223-6679. And they don't even have an area code. There it is. It's Brill's. I don't have my other camera. Brill's TV service from Bismarck, North Dakota. Cool, kind of a dual red thing. Into the pocket protector it goes. And hello, Joe. What have you got for us on the Old Tube Radio Network?
Thank you, Dennis. We're going to, well, you know what, first of all, I'm still singing the Monster Mash and trying to do the mashed potatoes. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but not too good on this carpet. But anyway, I'd like to check in my Johnson Messenger 223. It's been idle there. We didn't get a chance to check it here last week. And right now that the tubes are glowing, and I can smell the cooking a little bit, that's a good thing. I'm on a stock microphone, Dennis, the original, with the old shark fin top. This microphone always cracks me up when I key it up. But we're on a stock mic, and this is a 10-2 Johnson Messenger 223.
223 looking and sounding good. The original desk microphonium that was sold with the radio. It appears it could have been an option. I have information saying that you could get that radio, what was it, like $200, and you wanted the microphone, add an extra $15. But you got to have that desk mic with the Johnson. That radio does not go mobile, but it was from, the Messenger 2, which was sort of a narrow, long radio. They turned it sideways, built the super cool cabinet, giant speaker, added 23 channels, hence the 223, an S meter, and the rest was history from 1969 or 68 to 1972. A good player and a radio that a lot of people, if you were talking on CB back in those times, either you had one probably, or you talked to a lot of people that did have one. Yours is still playing well. Give us another transmission.
Thank you on that there, Dennis, doggone it. And we're always hoping that it'll be sounding this way another 30 years from now. Anyway, we got a couple more we want to check in, and I don't want to hog up the old band. I know how important it is to, when we have a chance there to check these radios in to do our little thing. Okay, Dennis, thanks a whole lot, and we'll warm up another one.
Hey, that's a good thing for the old Tube Radio Network. I've got my echo thing going, not because I want it, just because it seems to be doing that. So I'm not sure exactly why that's happening, but if everybody can hear me okay, that's fine. Let me get back to the control room here. And I went to the 84, the Cheerios Kid Johnson Messenger, and that might actually be Mountain Maids, but I pulled the microphone. This is a heavy microphonium. It doesn't have a battery. It does not have a battery in the base. It's got the coiled cord. It is a 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 6-pin. I didn't know that. It's not even a Radio Shack used to have the 5-pin, so it's a 6-pin. It's got the logo on the front, the Johnson logo. I don't want to drop this. This is heavy, and it's solid. Yeah, it's solidly made. So that is why. That is one of the reasons you sound so good on that. Radio number 2, the E.F. Johnson Messenger 223. Thanks for bringing it by. Over. And speaking of over, hello, Paul. Are we still making it up the hill? Over.
I'd like to check in. This is listed in your website under Marina Communications, Buddy TX11B and RC11B.
All right, from Marina Communications, there were two buddies. There was the Marina Communications and the Autronics. Let me see if I bring up the right one here. That is from Paul, and that was from Paul. All right, you know what? There's two pictures. I'll start with this one that shows the factory lights, and I think I've got it. That's a 3-piece radio. Go ahead.
Yeah, you sure do. You got it. Excellent. It works out pretty good. Going pretty easy for you that way. Anyway, this is a real neat radio. Marina Communication made by, this is a Buddy base. And it's got basically it's got 18 tubes in it, just for this 2-piece or 3-piece with a big on-the-air light above it, as you can see in the pictures. Harvey calls this radio a baby Buddy, as it has never been converted to 11 meters and is running all factory watts. The 3-piece radio, like I said, and it has a lighted on-the-air speaker, like I said, also very large. Easy to read meters. It's both vehicle and 6 channels crystals control receiver, and transmit has a 24 crystal control on the thing. And just a real classy radio, back to you.
Buddy Bass, trying to get the edge on Browning, maybe, to get an extra piece there by separating the speaker. And I think Demco did the same thing. not super fancy in the way it's made, we know, with the gold knobs, but yeah, the transmitters were a very coveted item on that. Get a little closer picture. The transmitter is the smaller unit. The receiver is the large unit with, and it looks like it has the slide rule dial, so you got to crank that knob and move the little dial along there to get the channel if you're listening in that way.
Yeah, it's got like you say, a string controlled receiver on the thing. That's what I call it. It's got a big long string in there that you move back and forth up there on the right hand receiver, as you can see with the lights on it. And this radio was manufactured in Pasadena, California, by Marina Communications. After that, I don't know what they went to after that. I think this is about the second one in line of one of the 800 only radios made by this. Well, what are the outfits? They're all about the same. Real neat radio. Back to you.
A real neat radio, and also sounds really good. What a great quality of audio. It's not super sharp, where it's piercing. It's not super bassy, where it's muddy. It's really good, full audio. And I know what your voice sounds like if I'm standing right next to you talking to you, and it sounds just like that. So the Buddy Bass, always kind of known for their transmitters. A lot of stations like them to beef them up a little bit with the 6L6, crank them into the business band mode, and have away with it. But yours is running just fine without super modifications. So give us one more transmission before you go. I'll put up the S meter, so if you're watching the video, you'll be able to give yourself a report. So back to you on the Buddy Bass Marina Communications 3-piece radio. Over.
I never did have a factory radio amplifier, not amplifier, but doggone. I'm having one of those nights. I don't know, a microphone or the thing. I'm using a Turner Plus 3 amplified ceramic microphone. One of my favorite mics. You got it turned way down. It really be loud and annoying if I turn it up. So I'll leave it like this, and you see it's working about right. So I'll just set it and leave it as it is. And thanks for checking in, Dennis.
It's working great. I hope you can watch the replay and listen to the great audio quality that is going through. It sounds better than Net Control, and that is a good thing for our Radio 3 tonight from Marina Communications down near, well, actually Marina, I think, was on the coast, but you said, was it Burbank, Pasadena. So between the two places for Buddy Bass, they did quite well. Chrissy asked how many tubes. I don't know. I was looking on the archives, and it doesn't say. So between the two, I might guess that there could be as many as 15. I don't know, because you're separating the transmitter and the receiver, and the transmitter probably doesn't have more than about 6 or 7. And Greg, S9 Radio, mentioning about the Messenger 223 and the Realistic TRC-30. Some of the common rigs of the early 70s. The TRC-30 was the poor man's E.F. Johnson. I had the rig before that. I had the first Navajo, was the TRC-23A. That's before they put the Delta tune in the middle. I've got it here somewhere. Maybe I should do an unboxing. I've still got the original box for the TRC-23A, but that was one of the best $129 I ever spent. I saved up probably a year and a half to purchase that radio. The Old Tube Radio Network, real radios glowing in the dark. We are listening for radio number 4.
Number 7.
60.
All right, number 7. Step up into the air chair. You'll be Radio 4 Ed at 9:30. And Joe, you will be Radio 5 after that, and back to the studio. And I'm looking under B. I'm looking under Browning to find your radio. I hope I'm looking correctly. Go ahead, Ed.
Well, you would have that correct. The Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB with the Golden Eagle D104 attached.
As SWL2 would say, and well it should be. There is the radio, not the one that Ed is on which he's talking, but very similar. with the D104 Microphonium, a two-piece radio. From 3 pieces to 2-piece, Browning kept the receiver and the speaker together, but as you can see, quite a fancy layout between all the golden knobs and the golden radio, and the, let's see, at that time, the golden price tag, well over $700 over.
There you go. Yes, it was a mighty expensive radio back in the day, and they're not that cheap now, so you still pay a pretty darn good coin for one of these radios, and I'm real lucky. This one got worked on and fixed up by Red Monkey before they left.
And that is a good thing. Greg, if you are still listening, that's S9 Radio, and you're still at the keyboard, let us know if your doctorate thesis on this radio is still available. I think you were distributing them through eBay, and you may or may not still be doing that. So if you are within the sound of the Old Tube Radio voice, feel free to type in any information that is necessary if those are still available, if anybody would want to get the S9 radio tutorial on the Browning radios. Go back and give us another transmission. 60 is waiting on Radio 5, but you took the time to warm it up, so got to hear it again.
There you go. Well, got the little ping in the short mode for tonight, and yep, well, we'll go ahead and we have another radio warming up, and we'll let the channel roll and bring that one on next.
All right, very good. Thanks for bringing it by. Radio 4, the Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB with the Golden Eagle Microphonium. Okay, let's head over to SWL60. The time is 9:33 here on the West Coast. The Old Tube Radio Network, Channel 11 is where we're at, 27085. This is the live feed if you're listening or watching it on a Saturday evening for the 30th of October, and we are just about to find our radio number 5. Hello, Joe.
Thanks, Dennis. We're watching the old little light glow over here on this end, so I guess maybe this Robin 123 base and mobile is working. This is an 11.2 modified to have an extra 10 channels in it, and I'm talking off a Lollipop powered.
Power D104 Microphonium. That radio also has, let me get the close-up. This one is sitting on the original box in very good condition. In fact, there is the microphone that normally goes with it. It's a sort of small style, plastic hand microphone, a round grill. But you have switched the plastic round grill for the chrome round grill of the D104, correct?
Yeah, we did switch it over. That little microphone, my hands are a little big for it, and it's like trying to squeeze an egg, if you know what I mean. Doggone it, yeah, really small. And I don't know about the modulation on it, but doggone it, one of these days we'll hook it up, put it in line here. Right now we're talking on 11. Doggone it, according to the switches, because this is a modified radio, and everything looks good. Everything is flashing. The needles are wiggling, so I guess maybe we're still okay.
Yeah, fine. The audio is great. You have everything adjusted very nicely. In fact, I was looking at the range expand, and I'm not sure if yours is on or off, but I think you said the D104 was amplified. So that's a tricky situation. If you're running the range expand with an amplified D104, you've got to really keep everything not at 11 for that radio not to sound overmodulated, and it certainly doesn't.
Yeah, we have the range expand on, and we very seldom ever turn it off. But doggone it, I guess we're doing okay. You said once or twice, I believe that the modulation was okay, so I'll leave it at that. I don't know how we have adjusted the bottom of the microphone. I don't remember if we just cracked it open or have it halfways or whatever, but maybe one day we'll take a peek when we have to change the battery.
Yeah, hopefully before you have to change the battery. When you look at it, it's got the little corroded, crusty things on there, but it's doing well. I think from what we've heard, most of the Robins, regardless of the microphonium, always sound a little bit better. I think the audio is fuller with the range expand on, unless maybe you're using a Shure 444 or something. But you've got it perfect. It doesn't sound like it's being pushed. It really doesn't sound amplified. That is to say, or I should say, it doesn't sound over-amplified in that I'm hearing room noise and just too much audio. It's perfect the way you've got it, and you are getting some thumbs up from our SWLs who really like the green Robin radio. So you've done a good thing with Radio 5, the Robin T123B. Thanks for bringing it by.
Thank you for letting me key this one up there, Dennis. And we'll get another one ready. We'll let the old channel, like it says, let it rock.
And this is the old Tube Radio Network. And I thought maybe the Jingle Singers were going to take the whole evening off, but I guess they weren't upstaged enough by ETC. So here they are. We're listening for radio number 6. Somewhere.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you. Wherever you are, the friendliest station for you by far is known to all as
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
The station for you is
OTR.
Number 7.
Checking my list. It'll be number 7 for Radio 6 at 9:38. Take a transmission. I'm doing the process of elimination here, and I'm scrolling through the Rolodex to the end of the alphabet. Go ahead.
Well, this one's from 1963. The Tram TR27E, 23-channel transmit and receive with the Electro Voice 638 microphone.
The EV638, doing that live, and you got a nice compliment from Mark on 40 meters. I heard him when you saw your shack there, and he cued in. He cued on the Browning and the Tram setup, or maybe you told him about the Tram, but anyway, here it is. Here it is live and direct. And this is, it doesn't always happen this way, but the radio that you are seeing on the screen will be the radio you hear key up when I stop talking. Go ahead.
Oh, there you go. Yes, that is the actual radio that I am speaking on right now. It did not have the microphone plugged into it at that point, but oh well. Yeah, the Electro Voice microphone, I searched around for a while before I found it, and put a lot of different mics on it, and finally settled on this one. And of course, the big green teal, actually, radio is quite large, 5x7 speaker. The S meter is 3.5 inches wide, 3 inches tall, so nothing really small.
Nothing really small. Maybe that's why they gave the the tech tips, because it was easy to work on that radio once you pulled it out of the cabinet. You could find things and not mess stuff up. That one works really well. The meter at least made it to the next generation of trams, which I believe was the Titan and the Titan II, which is what JT featured on Old Radio Night Tonight. So cool all the way around, and it's getting thumbs up from our SWLs as well, because it sounds good, and maybe, just maybe, because it's green. Back to you.
Well, the green works, but it's also a great radio. So, and the receive on it is exceptional. It's very close to the Browning. So Yeah, two of the best received radios that I've had tube-wise.
Yeah, Trem was good about receivers. I think it was Mr. Bill when I questioned him one time about the Mark III and the Trem D201. I said, you've got to pick one. And he couldn't, but he said he thought that at least in the 201 series, the Trem had a better receiver. And I thought, wow, that's a bold statement. Maybe just was it sounded better. I'm not sure, but they're both up there, and we like them all, even if they have 10 tubes and only and only one knob. This certainly has more than one knob. You are Radio 6. Take another transmission, and thanks for bringing it by tonight.
Thank you very much, and with that, we'll let OTR get in some, hopefully, a bunch more tube radios.
Yeah, this is the bunch more tube radios frequency. I will get in a bunch more SWLs. We got John 128 has stopped by working. He's working the contest too. Everybody had a good day on radio, whether you were working the contest or whether you were here on 11 meters working sort of the contest. Worked Galapagos the Expedition this afternoon on 15 meter. Well, that's not a contest. That's something else. I heard the Italian guys this morning on the 15. 15 was nice. I even went up to 14 or to 21, 430, thinking there might be some AM, but the conditions were so good it was good for contesters. So if the A and K index will behave, we might have another good day tomorrow because the SFI and Sunspot numbers are in good shape. Looking for radio number 7 on your old tube radio network. And I wonder how those bulldogs are doing. Let me go back to the studio camera. Someone mentioned, yeah, you know what? I finally got, this is an Electro Voice, the RE20, or it's called the Repop. It's the screen pop filter which replaced, wherever it went, the wind screen. So it looks a little more sleek, and it works quite well. I finally found one that was on some type of a special. Electro Voice is really proud of this little piece of metal, and they charge a lot of money for it. And I found one that was about half price that in theory was, semi-brand new. Or, somebody probably looked at it and said, I don't want that thing. And so I finally got it and connected it to the PR40. So we'll see how long it lasts. If I don't break it, or it doesn't break, but it works well. Looking for Radio 7.
60.
All right, we've got 944 or 444 UTC, and Joe is at the microphone of something that sounds good. Take a transmission.
Thank you much, there, Dennis. Yes, we are on our Hustler base. I guess it's from World Radio Labs. And an update also. Fresno State's leading 20-7 over San Diego, which San Diego is 7-0, and that says a bunch for Fresno State if they beat the number 1 San Diego State. This is a 7-tube, Dennis, 7 tubes, 8 channels, little radio with +3. I'm looking at it. It's a +3, and the modulation is up about halfway. And I guess this one here, too, goes mobile.
Yeah, I don't have much information on it, but it probably needs, obviously needs a different power cord connecting. I don't know if it's a Jones plug in the back, but something to transfer the voltage over. So if it does, it might have a vibrator. With only that many tubes, it might not have the vibrator, and I don't know. You plug it in, and my Regents Imperial would go mobile with a vibrator, and some of them that have the transistors do the DC to DC conversion. Cool with the S-meter. This is a really good, I don't know who took this picture. This is a really, really good picture of this radio with the blue microphone, which you have modified, which plugs into the front. Looks like it's hardwired in. And then the 8-channel transmit crystal controlled, the variable tuning knob, and the S-meter. Does the S-meter work? It may not be lit, so if it's too hard to see, don't bother, but I'm just wondering if you can give me a radio check. As we used to say back in the 70s, what am I hitting you with? Over.
Well, she's lit, Dennis. Works really well. When you first turn it on, it's up in the air, the meter, the needle. And then as soon as the tubes kick in, the needle goes back down to the floor. And you're hitting me with 20 pounds, and that's what I have you on the base. At exactly 20.
20.
Boy, you perfectly cued Harvey to come in there with that 20. And the 20 don't go away. Well, I'll take your 20 and see you 20 more. There is a switch, a spotter switch, which helps to do the transmit and retuning, squelch and volume. It's got a heck of a lot more knobs than that Hallicrafters. But it sounds good. Hustler radio. We're not showing the mobile bracket. Yeah, it's got the mobile mounting things on the side. You have the mobile bracket with that, Joe?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and it's also blue. And, yeah, she's got the original mobile bracket turn deals on it. Yeah. And like I say, the meter is well lit, and it shows the poundage really nice. And it does have the spotter and the extra, the crystal switch, so I can use the crystal slot if I want to use it. And all I do is set it on external, and it has your squelch and your volume control.
Everything one needs for two-way communications and then some. Very rare from World Radio Labs. Rob, SWL3, used to have a very, very, very big collection of Globe radios, the Globe Stars, and he could pretty much check in half a page with his collection when he had it. And then, of course, this is the next step from that, the World Radio Labs, and a very rare one indeed. Thanks for Radio 7. Take another transmission before you go, and we always enjoy this. And even Chrissy is saying, she's saying, I would buy that from you, but I just don't have the money. And Chrissy, I bet Joe would sell it to you, but you're too far away. And we're glad to have it here in the Central Valley. Back to you, Joe.
Oh, that's funny. You know, she must know the Hustler with the Hustler radio. Yeah, I probably would, Chrissy, that's for sure. Hey, okay, thanks for letting me check it in there, Dennis. Doggone it, let these other radios get checked in also. Thanks a whole bunch.
Yeah, and Greg, you make a great comment. S9 Radio saying he can't remember seeing a base station, a CB base station with the volume and squelch up in the air like that. And I was thinking the same thing. I said, look at all that real estate with that little light and the channel socket. It'd almost be fun to look inside. Obviously, under the speaker, where you think they might put them, probably something was going on. Even the S-meter's in an odd spot. So the design team at World Radio Labs, maybe they were changing from Globe to World Radio, and they had walked out early that day, and so they said, we have to get this thing done. Just put the knobs on and the S-meter wherever you can. But it's a beautiful radio, and it sounds great. Radio 7. Speaking of radios, and 20. Hello, 20. Over.
Okay. Check me in. 29 and 54 also. I will be around next week, I guess. But I have to work in the morning, so that's why I'm home early tonight from when I usually don't get home. We started early because I have to get up early in the morning. Okay, the Browning Golden Beagle from Browning Laboratories, the R68, T68. I tried to stream on the laptop here at the house, and all I get is last week. Any reason? Am I doing something wrong?
Oh, Oh, you know what? You are probably not doing anything wrong because I may not have updated the link. And so Tony did a good job. See, you are getting the reruns, and the reruns are my fault. So there are probably some people who are shaking their fists at net control, saying, "Well, you know what? Normally we see your updated item, and I think what I have to do, I go here. In fact, let me do it right now. So the one that is up there is the wrong one, so I have to clear it out, and I have to put in the right one, and I have to turn off the automatic thing, and I have to submit that." And there it is. So my apologies to those that are watching last week's program and thinking it's deja vu all over again. Over.
Okay. Well, I didn't listen to the stream, fortunately, or try on the way home, listening to the Bulldog game. Anyway, I'm going to check this radio in, check myself in, and that'll be it tonight. I'll listen to the stream, but I'll leave this radio on. But I have to get something to eat and then finish the Bulldog game and then go to sleep. Okay, take care, Dennis.
All right, thanks for the, what do we call it, hit and run, but that's okay. On the Old Tube Radio Network, it was good to hear you. And yeah, busy as busy does. It's been busy here in the studio tonight, and the new link is up, and you will get something. So thanks for radio number 8 on the Browning, and we've got more SWLs to check in. Butterbean is in. Hello, 63. We'll get you checked in as well. OTR standing by.
By the way, tell S9 Radio down there, hello from me. I love his Mark III manual that I got from him. Real helpful. Okay, he should do one for almost all the setups, the Brownings. But I guess that might be a little much. Okay, we'll see ya.
All right, well, we were just chatting about that, and he's gathering some together that may be back on eBay for Black Friday. So for those who are wanting one, like myself, he says the manuals are still in print, but it should be back up here soon. And Greg is super cool and checks in with us often, so he'll give us an update on how we can get a hold of cool stuff. The Old Tube Radio Network is looking for Radio 9 as we approach the bewitching, the appropriately bewitching hour. Oh, they're pointing. They said, okay, go to the other studio cam. Where is it? Where's the other studio cam? There it is. All right, it's the it's the talking something or other pumpkin. Maybe that's me. Maybe that's how I look when you're on the Old Tube Radio during the pre-Halloween, looking for radio number 9. Over.
There it is, number 7.
Number 7, you founded it. Over.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I guess my little switch here is starting to do some weird things on the mic. Anyway, the R68 T68 Browning Golden Eagle with the banana-type microphone.
And that one is a true screaming eagle for sure. With whatever ping you have dialed up. Here we go. I'll take the advertisement picture, but that's the smaller transmitter, although it's pretty big. That is to say, it's smaller than the receiver, like they matched them on the Mark III, and it is super loud. Take a transmission.
Well, you can thank Harvey for the loudness. I guess he put his Harvey range boost into this one, so that's why it's doing what it's doing. But yeah, it's in pretty darn good shape. Actually, I think it came from SWL84 Jerry, and he hadn't had it working in a while, and then of course Harvey fixed it up as he does so well.
Yes, there have been many a radio from Harvey and Red Monkey and big collections. Some of the big collections that were sold but stayed here locally, and we are glad for that. So, radio number 9, you are the Browning Eagle R68 T68, making its debut not that long, maybe 12 to 16 months from 1967 to 68. The original price. This is probably the most affordable, economical Browning, $395, which I think was the same price as the S27 or R27 S23 Browning, and I'm sure if you could find them back in the day for $395, you got a good deal.
Well, anytime you can get a Browning, I think that would be a pretty good deal. Definitely like the Brownings. I do like the Mark III better. The receive in it is definitely superior to this one. But hey, it's still a Browning.
Yes, and that might have been, I'll have to check with Jimmy, that might have been some of the mods they did when they went with the Mark II. A little bit of peeking and tweaking here and there. Browning was always good to update their stuff. Back there in near Chicago. All right, what else do we have? I think that's it. I'm going to be counting and amounting, but we have plenty of room on the radio list if you'd like to get in. If you haven't snuck all the Halloween candy that you're supposed to be giving out tomorrow night, stop by the radio and give us a check-in. Also, hello to X4000 checking in, noticing that let's see if I can get the talking pumpkin to say hello to all the SWLs here on the Old Tube Radio Network. There we go. Listening for radio number 10. And somebody way out there, I might need help with this one, OTR listening. Did anyone copy that better than I? All right, station, we hear you on the Old Tube Radio Network, and thanks for stopping by tonight and checking out the radios. The Old Tube Radio Network on oldtuberadio.net, streaming and beaconing across your airwaves, looking for Radio 10.
Oh, that was 39.
Oh, I thought, but he's not as strong as he was, at least on my receive. So my guess is I've got noise that I didn't have when he checked in originally.
Yeah, I went over to the other radio and turned up the gain.
We're turning up the gain, Dan. Dan likes it when we turn up the gain. I like it when we turn up the gain.
Put the old receive amps in.
Yeah, if you can make it through the extra noise when you turn up the gain, that's a good thing. That's sort of what I want to do is hook up a system so I could compare the sort of old radio with the sort of new radio, but that's easier said than done.
Yeah, I have all the tubes on a dedicated antenna, so that way I can play a ham radio on the other one.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do here as well. The as SWL00 would say, the singers of jingle are ready to do what they do best.
magic numbers.
27.085 megahertz, channel 11.
Are the magic letters.
OTR.
Right here in
Fresno, California.
Radio Magic.
Old Tube Radio.
For you.
And I apologize for not putting that link up. And what's the other thing? The weird echo. But maybe it works okay on a pre-Halloween OTR. And Chrissy reiterates, and so do I, and those who missed it, Chrissy put out a recipe tonight for, I believe it was called chili casserole. And it is scrolled, or if you go to the the YouTube airing of this particular Old Tube Radio Network, you will be able to glean all the various ingredients and put them in the proper order at the proper time for yet another SWL10 recipe. Thank you, Chrissy, for that.
And I've had a recipe that was very similar to that, and it was delicious. The only thing it didn't use Doritos, it used Fritos.
And Chrissy, I just saw your post. Thank you for the kind words. I found out Doris Day's secret of putting whatever it is around the camera lens so that you always look that you always can look good. And at 10:02, the jingle singers say one more time, this is the one, right? This is the one I was thinking of.
You're tuned to
OTR. Channel 11.
Right here in
Fresno, California.
Stay with us.
Old Tube Radio.
And be modern.
Counting and amounting. All right, any other items of interest before we send it away? Send it away tonight. Yeah, I want to get into the steaks and pizza over there. There was a large crowd. Espresso Trucking Company brought their fan group. I think they were cruising around in the limousine, and everybody followed them in. So it is very, very busy and very crowded out on the main floor tonight, so I'm going to make sure I get in there and get all the good stuff. That was Mr. Announcer's cue to cue the orchestra so that I can give the totals. Is anyone in the studio? Okay, here we go.
This is the Old Tube Radio Network. Ladies and gentlemen, stand by. It's time now for the current OTR totals.
Okay, I see. When Mr. Announcer was ready, it's just getting the orchestra together. I guess when you're eating chicken and pizza or whatever it is, it's hard to hold the... We'll have to ask Michael about that. It's hard to hold the horn and do it correctly. Tonight, SWLs 13 on page 1, 18 on page 2, 16 on page 3, 24 on page 4. We are in week 6, so 2 more weeks to go on this particular roster. A total of 71 shortwave listeners checking in on the list, but oodles and oodles of others watching and listening somewhere. You're the SWLs. You know who you are. Maybe you're listening on the Sony portable, or the Zenith, and you had to rotate the wave magnet antenna to hear OTR tonight. Maybe you're listening on a scanner and you're listening on FM, and I kind of sound like that because you're listening to AM and FM, but thanks for listening. Radios tonight, we had 9. The most heard manufacturer turned out to be Browning tonight, although we had a great collective of radios such as the Hallicrafters CB1 from 1959. 1 knob, 1 crystal, 1 speaker, 1 microphone, CB1. You got to have it. Thanks. Always a treat for that from a Hallicrafters guy that started with Hallicrafters walkie-talkies. The CB11. So I was up to 11 with those. CB11A, as a matter of fact. The FM1000, my SX25, my first SWL radio. Great company. They even made TVs, believe it or not. Radio number 2, Joe on the E.F. Johnson Messenger 223. That one is still working back there. Here's the microphonium from said radio. Boy, that's and it's still heavy. It's going to break the less than stellar table. I have it on down here. What else is going on? We have radio number 3. That was Paul on the Buddy Bass, the Marina Communications Buddy Bass tonight, and that sounded really good. I'm going to listen to the playback on that. That was some very clear, nice audio from a very old radio. Also, good audio from Radio 4, the Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB with the Golden Eagle microphonium from Mr. Ed. Joe, 60 Hustler, was on the Robin T123B for Radio 5. Mr. Ed brought the Tram TR27E all the way from 1963. That radio is going to be, is that true? It's going to be 50 years old in a couple of years. I remember when I was 50 years old. Who is next? Joe, Hustler on the Hustler, WRL, World Radio Labs, the Beautiful Blue Radio. Radio 8, Harvey on the West Side. Thanks, Harvey, for jumping in on your Browning Golden Beagle, Browning Lavatories Golden Beagle R68 T68. I think I said that right. And then Mr. Ed, as you heard moments ago, on the Browning Golden Eagle R68 T68 radio. So a good time was had by all. Guys, I want my chroma back. Next week I should look a little less pale. Where's that talking pumpkin? There it is. Doing what it does best. That's gonna drive me nuts. Was that on the Costco card? And if so, let me know if we can return it, because it's up there and it's driving me nuts. The bands, it's the CQ Worldwide contest. My less than stellar radio receivers. Oh, see, that's how I get all that feedback. That's where I get my feedback tonight. Nothing on 40. Are they contesting on 75? No, they're just talking. I'm listening to see if the FT8 is still on. So, all right. Get up in the morning. Should have some good conditions like today, we hope, and get on your radio sometime during the week and have a good time on your radios, whatever they might be. Good night, everybody, from the Old Tube Radio Network. And everybody's got their, where is it? Everybody's got their 3x5 cards out, copying down Chrissy's recipe for the chili. So thanks, Chrissy, again for that, and we will catch you later on the Old Tube Radio Network.
Thanks, Dennis, and of course, thanks to Bozo Control.
Bozo Control, and as they say, go dogs. This is the basic Dennis over.
I have a friend that wants to say something to you.
Okay, well, I am listening. I didn't say hello to XOR. I always have to acknowledge another KB6 call. There just aren't enough KB6s anymore. Everybody went to the vanity calls. Nobody wanted to keep their good old novice calls, but XOR and myself, we're still KB6s. Oh, who wants to talk to me? This is Dennis. Over.
Well, she doesn't really want to talk to you. She just has something to say to you.
All right, this is the something to say frequency. Go ahead. All right, let her know I've got a pumpkin that would like to meet her.
You got that right. Okay, catch you next week.
All right, good night, everybody. And to answer to your question, Chrissy, whoever, runs the other part of the program here, the other part of the net, thought it would be a cool thing to put me in monochrome for the pre-Halloween edition of OTR. But you notice the radios were in color tonight, and the pumpkin was in color. It was just net control. It makes the seersucker jacket look a lot better. And 23 Skidoo, I agree. You probably get all sorts of people wanting to work you on the short path, and then they realize, oh, it is the short path. All right, before I really, really break something, I'm going away. 73, everybody, from your old Tube Radio Network.